Hello, my name is Lisa Hoffman, and this is my case study for AEP 858, Module 11. First, I would like to start off by summarizing the case and establishing the facts. The people involved in this case study were Mr. Rhodes, which he was the first-year school leader, Dr. Newman, he is the superintendent, Karen is an 11th grade student who got married in August, is known for good grades and positive referrals from teachers. Tyrone is a 10th grade student who is an honor student. Christina is a 9th grade student who had a minister sign forms for her to attend out-of-town meetings. Carl is a 10th grade student who attends vocational school. And John is an 11th grade student who is also a football player. So my problem statement for this case study is that Golden Oak High School has shown a decline in attendance, and it is known for the lowest percentage of student attendance in the school district. Next, let's talk about some of the facts that we know from the case study. So we know that the school board policy is aligned with the state law. We know absences are only allowed for illness, death in the immediate family, inclement weather, or a valid reason. The district policy penalizes student grades for more than 5 unexcused absences, and teachers can deduct 10 points from the total quarter grade. Okay. Another key fact from this case study is that there are 5 students that I mentioned on that first slide that have missed 10 or more days in the first semester of school. The district has a positive relationship with social services and juvenile court. The superintendent, Dr. Newman, has encouraged the principal, Mr. Rhodes, to work closely with both social services and juvenile court to address and solve the attendance issues. So next, let's talk about the legal issues and ethical issues that have arose in this case study. Some of the legal issues include that the school is in violation of the attendance policy. It was stated that the district policy penalizes student grades for more than 5 unexcused absences, and those 5 students that were mentioned have missed 10 or more days, so they are in violation of that policy. Those students also have broken the truancy laws as well as state attendance requirements. And then the teachers are also in violation of their teacher contract obligations. So some of the questions that I was wondering about while going through this case study was, why are some of the students being treated differently for their absences than others? In particular, the football player that is being excused from class to rest for games. Another question that I had was, are teachers deducting points for their absences? And then, why are parents allowing these students to miss this much school? Some of the ethical issues that have come about is that the athletic director excuses John from class for football. There are parents who are being very unsupportive of their children attending school, and attendance documentation. Are the parents really writing these letters to excuse their kids? They are high school students, so are they forging these notes to excuse themselves? We really don't know that for sure, but those are definitely things that are to think about. So what exactly happened in this case study? The principal of Golden Oaks High School, Mr. Rhodes, has been informed by the school district superintendent, Dr. Newman, that there is an attendance issue happening at his school and that he needs to work with social services and juvenile court system to help correct it. So let's synthesize those facts that we just talked about. So Mr. Rhodes, Dr. Newman, teachers, athletic director, the 5 students, Karen, Tyrone, Christina, Carl, and John, are all people involved in this case study, as well as the case study mentioned that most of the families are middle income families. Some are high income and some are low income. Some live in poverty. And it also mentioned that some families travel for work. What is unknown about the people in the case study is which teachers are accurately taking, reporting, and recording attendance. And there's no mention of any communication with any of the students' parents except for Tyrone and Carl. Let's talk about the places mentioned in the case study. We know that this is Golden Oak High School. It serves grades 9 through 12 and currently has 965 students. Tyrone went to Washington, D.C. with his mother and attended the Smithsonian Museum. And we also know that his dad has requested approval to go to Canada. Something that is unknown is we don't know exactly where the high school is located, what town, and we also don't know where the vocational campus is located that the student is attending. The program, we know that Mr. Rhodes is a first-year leader with a low turnover rate amongst staff. There's many extracurricular activities, including 11 different sports, football being the dominant, 31 clubs, and is diverse with student population with Hispanic and Asians moving in the recent years. Some of the unknown is that we don't know why the attendance has declined and what the previous principal has had in place and how he addressed the issue of attendance. So let's review and prioritize the information that has just been given. Mr. Rhodes has been consulted and believes that all stakeholders need to be informed. Dr. Newman is an important stakeholder, and he's obviously been consulted because he is the one who informed Mr. Rhodes. Students are stakeholders and probably the most important stakeholders. I'm not sure that they've been consulted about the attendance and issues that have arose. Parents and guardians, they've been consulted, but some are not supportive and some need follow-up or to be made aware of the policies. Our school staff are stakeholders. I don't believe any of them have been consulted except for maybe the school counselor, truancy officers, and juvenile detention center. Those are obvious stakeholders, and it mentioned that John had been turned into the truancy office. And then our last stakeholder would be community members, which I don't believe have been informed either. So with the information that we have been given, there is some possible damage that can be had from this. So it can be damaging because it makes the school itself look bad for not addressing these issues. And community members may become upset that certain students are being treated differently than others based on the attendance. It could also cause a bad rapport with families if they are feeling picked on. Students may think that it's okay to miss excessive amounts of school if policies are not being put into place. As there's more that we could learn from this case study, and I believe that we need to know if students should be allowed to bring written notes for excused absences. I personally believe that that should not be the case because, like I said earlier, we don't know if the students are actually writing the notes or if the parents are writing the notes. So that's something that I would like to learn more about. Did Mr. Rhodes inform all of the stakeholders about the attendance issues at hand? I would like to learn more and analyze more data on attendance to see if there's any trends or patterns happening. And then something else that I would like to learn about is if there's any specific languages spoken in the home to help better communicate with families. So let's talk about our options that we can have for this case study. The first option, you would do nothing, simply just continue with how attendance is being handled. Option 2, a comprehensive liberal action. You could meet with your truancy and juvenile court system to discuss the attendance issues, create an attendance policy to present to your BLT team, inform and provide professional development practice for your staff, inform all stakeholders of new policies, have a school assembly by grade level, informing students of the new attendance policy and inviting families to attend as well, and document how the policy is working and follow up with your BLT team for any questions or concerns. Option 3, intermediate strategies. So meet with your staff to discuss their role in attendance policy and the importance of being honest and trustworthy. Look at data with staff so they are aware of the attendance issue, looking for patterns. So let's evaluate our options. Option 1, the pros would be that if you did nothing, you wouldn't have any issues between your families and staff. The cons would be that your attendance will continue to decline, and that's breaking your state laws and policies. Option 2, you would have a plan put in place and it could increase attendance, and students would learn that attendance is important, the laws would be followed, and a positive rapport between students, families, and school would be happening. Cons for this option would be that maybe there may be too much for some people at one time to handle and could cause some issues with staff and families. And then consequences will be put in place for missing more than 5 days, which could affect the students' rapport with you as well. Option 3, strategies are being given to help increase attendance, gives teachers an opportunity to understand the policy. The cons for this would be that maybe your veteran teachers may still not buy into the new policy and continue in their old ways. So in my opinion, the best choice would obviously be option 2. And this option is the best option because the plan is being put in place and everyone involved is being made aware of the plan and expectations. And so this is just a slide about the plan that I would put in place. First, you would meet with your truancy and juvenile court system to discuss the attendance issue like the superintendent suggested. Create an attendance policy to present to your BLT with clear expectations. Inform all your stakeholders of new policy. Inform and provide professional development practice for staff. Have a school assembly by grade level informing students of new attendance policy. And document how the policy is working and follow up with your BLT team for concerns or questions. And then this last page is just my correlation, relevant, and reflection